Hey guys, Sean Terry here, flip2freedom.com. Hope you're doing well. All right, so in this video, I want to talk about how to find, hire, and onboard Rockstar acquisition reps so they can go out and get trained and crush it right out of the gate. I'm actually going to take you into our KPI dashboard there and show you some numbers of a new hire that we just got started with us in the past 3 weeks. We'll look at some of the senior acquisition reps, what their numbers, what they look like. But we're going to walk through that entire process, what that looks like, so you will know how to go out there and find Rockstar, acquisition reps, and then also train them and get them up and going. So stay tuned.
I can't take no loss. Yeah. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my.
All right, so finding, hiring, onboarding, training Rockstar acquisition reps is probably one of the most important things you can do for scaling your wholesaling business. Now, we do deals nationwide. I've been wholesaling now for the past 19 years. For the majority of my career, I would either been a solopreneur, which sucked, literally working seven days a week, or I worked in a local market. I'm here in Phoenix, Arizona. We had a sales team, a local sales team, going out and talking to sellers on appointments every single day. In 2019, I pivoted national, and that's where we really started working on building a nationwide sales team. And before you do that, you actually got to get your numbers dialed in, so then you can scale your leads, you can scale your process. So it's essentially been a startup for me in like November, December 2019, all the way through 2020. The pandemic hit. That was obviously crazy, and then we've been ramping up ever since then. So in this video, I want to be able to share that with you and show you exactly what you need to do to scale your business. And it literally takes two things: leads, low-cost leads, and Rockstar acquisition reps. If you can put those two together, then you can turn your business into easily $1 million a year, $5 million a year, $10 million a year business. All right. So if you could do me a favor, if you could hit the like button, if you could hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to go out there and pretty much lay out everything for you so you don't go out there and miss a video. All right. So first thing we got to do is where do we find acquisition reps? Now, my best acquisition reps have come from my inner circle, first off, and then from Indeed, right? So first off, go to your inner circle first and ask your community, people that you know, if they know anybody that's looking for a job where they would learn to be acquisitions. Now, because we're doing deals nationally, we're specifically looking for somebody has great phone skills, over the phone, is used to being on the phone. Now, I'm going to show you some numbers here in a second, but an average rep spends anywhere from, they're doing anywhere from 600 to 700 calls plus a month on the phone, 40, to 50 hours on the phone a month. So it's got to be someone, if they're doing nationwide over the phone acquisitions, then they got to be comfortable being on the phone. So you want to make sure that they have that. So what we do is we run Indeed ads. Now I can tell you, like no time before, really quality, awesome people are coming in. Now, when we ran ads about 6 months to a year ago, it was literally sparse. We get a good person here and a good person there. But now we're getting incredibly quality people that are coming in almost like floodgates. We got stacks of applications we haven't even had a chance to talk to. So Indeed works really, really well. Be specifically clear on exactly the role that you're looking for when it comes to acquisition. What's your benefits that you offer somebody? All right, so what I want to do is I'm actually going to take you into a Indeed, and I'll show you what an ad looks like real quick. So let's go into the Indeed ad, and this is one we're running now. We have 320 active, 319 new, and this one is going well. We've hired 2 people so far off this. So here's what it looks like. Talks about our benefits, full-time career, company-generated leads, personal growth, medical and dental, paid time off, ability to work from remotely on performance, paid training, core values, purpose, responsibilities, job requirements, must have minimum 1 year full sales experience. We added this off our last because we found some of the people we hired got burnt out on being over the phone. Exceptional phone etiquette, hands-on experience, salary 75 to 150,000 a year. So what we'll do, and I'll talk about compensation here real quick. For compensation, we pay a $2,000 base and an 8% commission. So based upon the fact, let's say they're closing 5 deals a month, plus we have a bonus program, 5 deals a month, an average rep can make between anywhere from $120,000 to $130,000 a year at 5 deals if they close a month with an average deal size of $28,000. So that's real quick on a basically what we're looking for on an actual job ad. So now what we're looking for is we post the ad, people call in, we do an interview. Once we do an interview with them, and if we like them, we'll give them a Kolbe A index test. Now you can search Kolbe A index test. I don't want to get too far in detail about that, but it tells you how people take action. Now what we're looking for is someone that's at least a 4+ on quick start and at least 5 or 6 on a fact find and a follow through. Those tend to be the good numbers when it comes to a Kolbe A index test. All right, so now that you've got leads coming in from people, you're talking to them, you're looking to hire them. What we do is we bring them in for about a half a day, and what we do is we have them shadow either us by making calls, and we're talking to sellers. We're getting them on the phone, actually talking to sellers, giving them a script just to see how they interact and what it's like for them to actually talk to sellers to see, to even if they like it. So we've hired people and they've been here for 3 days and they decide they didn't like the job. So what we've found, if they spend like a half day with us through the interview process and they take the time to actually do that, they are interested in the job. So we do that, get them on the phone, talking to sellers, get up and going. So now what we do is now we have to make a decision. Do we hire or not hire? And that is when it comes to, do you hire or do you not hire, and then what to expect. Now, what I like to do is really set the expectation for these reps, that we're going to be hiring on what we expect them to do, meaning we'll show them what average is. Average is someone that writes $1 million a year in revenue, and then our below average is $1 million. Average is 1.5, and above average is $2 million plus. So now we say, hey, listen, here's average. Here's below average, here's average, here's above average. We're looking for an above average person that's going to put the time, energy, effort to turn around and dedicate it and go out there and crush it. We're not looking for average. We're looking for someone that's going to perform and go the extra mile. So we show them the compensation of what they could potentially make. We also show them numbers of other reps, and then we show them what we're looking for an above average rep that's going to go out there and crush it. So now that we've done all that, we talked about compensation. We talked about what their base is. We talked about what their commission is. We showed them the projected income. And now we're going to make a decision. So now we sign them up, not sign them up, I guess. We hire them, we give them an offer. And now we've got to get them onboarded for the next, and what does that look like over the next couple, 2-3 weeks? So first off, we do a 14-day onboarding process. And in that onboarding process, we're essentially going to have them spend a half day making calls. So they're going to make calls through our database of, and we have basically a part of our database is just leads that we have in there that we call free-for-alls. So they're leads where they wanted follow-up on long-term follow-up. Maybe they were potentially listed. We're going to follow up people we haven't been able to get a hold of, that we paid for a lead we couldn't get a hold of. So they're in this free-for-all, and we have about 4,600 people in our free-for-all campaigns. So when we onboard someone, we're going to have them call those free-for-all people inside that campaign. Now, we want them to just feel comfortable over the phone, right? And during that process, we're going to coach them. We're going to give them a script and exactly what to say. Then we're going to kind of coach them through the process. And then the other half of the day, they're going to go through video training. Now, I created a video training called Deal Conversion Pro, and it's specifically how to close over the phone. That entire process. We use a 4-step process, and we show people these 4-step process that they can use to get deals over the phone. Now, if you don't have that, you can just click the link below and reach out to Chelsea at Flip to Freedom. But we use that to onboard. I actually created it for myself, and then we sold it to the public, and people absolutely love it. I know tons of groups that all they do is use that to onboard their reps. So we teach literally everything. The scripts, what to say it, how to understand personalities, understanding how to close, the process to close, and everything in between. So the first half of the day they make calls, second half of the day they go through the training. Then at the end of the day, we're going to do a recap of what they learned, and kind of test them on the information to make sure they're learning. So for 2 weeks, they're going to do that process. They're going to basically make calls, and then we're going to listen to them making calls. We're going to work with them making calls, and then they're going to go through our video training online. Now, we have multiple different courses that we do. If they know nothing about wholesaling, we're going to put them in what's called the escape plan. If they do know about real estate, then we're going to put them in Deal Conversion Pro. So we get them through that training package. Then what we do is now they're going to go on their own, right? And they're going to work on their own, and they're going to start talking leads. And they get to a process, in a 4-step process. We have the deep dive, and then we have the set. So either A, they're going to bring it all the way through the close, and that's the goal within those 2 weeks, is get them through the process where they can listen and learn to either other reps that we have or ourselves to go through the process, the deep dive, the set. And then you go through all the research on the property, you pull the comps on the property, they use our comp calculator, and then go through the close. So that 4-step process, they're going to go through that 4-step process, and if they might get stuck on a spot, and then they might tee up the close, and then I'll come in and close it. Or Gia, who's our sales manager, she's going to come in and close it. So we'll bring them through that process, and we'll work them through each phase of the process. The deep dive, what does that look like? The set, what does that look like? The research to understand so you can get your numbers together, get your DocuSign, get your offer together, and then the close. So you're going to bring them all the way through. They're going to start going through that process, and then they'll be able to eventually actually close. The sooner, obviously, the better. If they have sales experience, even better. They have phone experience, even better. The faster they will go through the process. All right. So now they've gone through the 14 days. Now they're going to be taking on leads. Now, what we do is we generate on average about 20 to 25 leads per rep. So they get 20 to 25 fresh leads every single week, and they work those leads. Then those leads are how we determine the quality, I guess, of the rep, or based upon what they produce and what they do. And we look at a really important number is leads per deal. And we're going to take you into some numbers real quick, and I'll show you what it looks like. But the bottom line is that we're going to generate leads. They're going to be talking those leads, making offers, getting properties under contract. Hopefully, if we trained them well and they're confident in going out and they're crushing it. Now, in that 14 days, during this process, what you're going to do is each week you're going to check in, and you're going to listen to a call, right? You're going to ask them for their best call and their worst call. You're going to listen to their call once a week, and you're going to jot down one thing that they can change. You're going to meet with them on that weekly basis. You're going to give them that one thing that they can change, and then you're going to role play with them, and then they're going to go implement that one thing. Then the following week, they're going to come back. We're going to basically listen to 2 more calls, make sure they made the change. If they did make the change, then they're going to have to go back and do it again, right? And then you're going to role play. So think about this. Each week, you're going to listen to the best call, the worst call. You're going to listen to the calls, and then you're going to give them one suggestion, not 10 suggestions, just one suggestion that they can use to implement so they can go out and work on that one thing. Then the next week comes, right? Now you do a role play so they can work on that one thing. Then the next week comes, you're going to go back and you're going to listen to see if they changed that one thing. If they change the one thing, great, move on. Give them one more thing they can work on. If not, then you got to go back. So I say that because you got to be real clear on what you're listening to and giving them advice to make their calls better so they can close. Now, what's happening is every single week, they're working on the highest priority item that they could change that's going to move the needle. If they do that every single week, they're going to get better and better and better. And then these numbers I'm about to show you are going to get better and better and better every single week. Now, we've implemented this most recently, and it's really starting to come together with our sales reps of really kind of diving in what they're doing. So that's how you work with them on an ongoing basis. If for some reason their numbers start to suck, then you have to work with them where now they might have to, instead of on a weekly basis, you might have to work with them, every other day where you're going to be listening to their calls and really kind of dive in to their KPIs and numbers and make sure there's something off. Now, one thing I learned from Alec Hamosi is that he talked about the belief of the rep. Now, you might have a rep that starts and they do great right out of the gate, and then they get super cold for whatever reason. And it's primarily not their skill, it's because their belief in what you're doing. Especially as real estate wholesalers, you have to believe that we are the absolute best option for that seller. We have to believe it 100%, and we have to sell it as if we believe it 100%. Now, Alex actually makes an analogy about where, let's say theoretically, you go back to your younger self. And your younger self had the option to buy Bitcoin at 10 cents, right? So, you went back to your younger self, and now you have the option, and now you are selling or telling your younger self to buy Bitcoin. Now, what would be your belief and conviction selling your old self to buy Bitcoin? Well, there'd be nothing to stop you. There would be no objection that you wouldn't overcome. You would be highly persistent because you're talking to your old self and you're like, dude, buy Bitcoin at 10 cents because you have no idea. There's no waiver. There's such a belief in that because you know that Bitcoin's $27,000 and oh my gosh, you have no idea. Just buy 10 cents a piece, buy $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, do whatever you got to do is buy as much as you can. And guess what? You're going to be a multi-billionaire. So you're going to be talking to yourself. So what if your self gives you an objection? What if your self blows you off? What if your old self, says, nah, I don't think that's for me. What would you do? With such conviction and such belief, you would overcome every objection. And if your sales reps have that level of belief, believing that we are the best option for that seller, then what's going to happen is, guess what? It doesn't really matter the technique. It matters more the belief. And Alex puts that analogy in. I thought it was really, really good. It made such sense about that. So I wanted to give him credit for that because I think that's great. So the bottom line is that, number one, they got to be able to have belief. And that belief in what they do is incredibly important. Now, let's go through some of the rep numbers. I'm going to show you. So a couple different reps we have here and what they're doing on their numbers. So going to the computer, this is one of our dashboards we have. So here's Renee. So she's spending 698, 756, 670. This is dials. This is talk time. Right? This is quality conversations. We haven't updated the rest of March yet. Leads per contract, right? 24, 28, and 33. 4 contracts, 2 closed and 1. So I've spent on marketing for Renee $32,000. Her average deal size is 28. She's got 346 leads. Her leads per contract is 28.83. Anything under 30 is good. She's signed 12 contracts. She's closed 3. She's got a bunch closing this month. She's got in the pipeline 183 and she's closed $91,000. So that's Renee. Now let's look at the difference here. So now we have Amy, and now Amy is actually part-time. She's did 44 dials, 64 dials, 80 dials, 22,000 in spend, so 10,000 less. Her average deal size is $27,000, so pretty close here. She's got 236 versus 346. Her average leads per contract is 2622, so a couple better. And she's got 214 in the pipeline. She's so far closed 227. So $500,000, close to $500,000 in just revenue with just Amy, and she's with a $22,000 marketing spend. That's profitability right there. So here's a new hire. We got hired. I'm just going to go through these three real quick. But he started. We gave him 101 leads, or $9,000. Right? He's made 406 calls. 383 talk, my fault, 3483 talk time. Quality conversations, 32. Leads per contract is 20, and he signed 5 contracts. So he signed 5, hasn't closed any yet, because he's literally 3 weeks out of the gate. This is his first week actually closing deals. He basically has in the pipeline $266,000. His average deal size, once we get his closed number, is about $53,000. So out of the gate, he's a new hire. It's not including our other reps. But the bottom line is to show you kind of the difference between the two. So it's amazing that he got started. He went through his 2-week training. He watched his videos. He made a bunch of calls. He made a bunch of mistakes. We corrected him what to do. And then one of the biggest suggestions when talking to Heath, is we told him to be himself, which is important. And I guess I'm in my throat. And have fun. Have fun. Be himself and have fun. If he does those two different things, then he'll do great. As soon as we told him that, boom, he went out. And in a matter of a week, got 5 contracts out of the gate with $266,000 in revenue. All right. So that is how what you expect. So you want to get under 30 leads per contract is exceptional. And what we do is we spend to give the reps the leads. So we expect something in return and we hold them accountable. We do meetings with them every single week, go through their numbers. And then at the end of, and if for some reason someone's not cutting it, every quarter we'll look at their numbers. And, if we have someone at super high numbers and they're not, we're spending a significant amount of money and their leads per deal is, 40, 45 leads per deal. Well, guess what? We might have to let them go and replace them with someone that could be better. So the goal is always be adding reps. Now, here's the thing. Scaling is all about understanding marketing, how to generate good quality leads, and hiring people. You put those two together, literally you can bring in millions and millions and millions of dollars of revenue, which is amazing. So hope this video helps. Hope you can go out there and crush it. You just got to find good people, get the marketing in. If you could do me a favor, if you could hit the like and subscribe button, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could do that. And join me on the next video. I'll see you. Take care. God bless.
I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year.